Hey everyone, this is Tony G, and this segment is about declining orders versus accepting all orders. If you watch my previous video, I shared with you, my insight on what happened when I accepted all of my orders and so on. So now we're going to compare the two and see at least what worked for me. So, what were the rules? The rules that I followed loosely, like you have to use your gut as well, but what I followed is do not accept offers with pay of $4 or less. Accept offers with a pay per mile at $1.50 to $2+ per mile. I added in the $1.50 because in my area, it's busy, but it's surrounded by rural areas as well. They're kind of spread out. So for me, that made sense. But the go-to is $2+ per mile pay. Drop-off location close to a hot zone. This is something that we go to if the first two aren't exactly what we would like. Like say it's $1.50 per mile. Okay, but is it is the drop-off location in or near a hot zone? So that's kind of how that works. I'll explain a little bit more. And know what restaurants in your area have longer wait times. Generally, over 10 minutes is not worth it. That comes from online and in my experience as well. But just know your restaurants. Get to know what takes too long, and then don't accept orders from that restaurant. Your time is valuable. So I love this game. I saw it online, and so I wanted to play it to kind of run through how I go through these 4 bullet points I explained, and I grabbed some screenshots from online. So these aren't from my market, but they're going to help us visualize. So accept or decline. Looking at this order, it's $2.75 for 10 miles. Immediately, it's $4 or less, so I don't even have to think about it. I just decline. So for this next one, it's $7 pay. You travel 3 miles, and for me, it's about, what is that? $3 per mile. It's definitely worth it for me. And drop off location, I'm not even going to think about that because it's $2+ per mile. And so I'll accept. You can look at the restaurant. So this one's, it's McDonald's. Not going to hate on them. I'm just going to say that if McDonald's in your area is too busy and it takes longer than 10 minutes, maybe you would decline. But I would accept given this criteria. So for this one, it's $12 plus. So that plus sign is, it's like a little surprise. Like, hey, this might be more when you're done. Might be a lot more when you're done. I've had experiences where it goes up to $20. I've had experience where it's 50 cents. So looking at this 12 plus, it's traveling 10.7 miles, so 10 miles. It's definitely not even within the $1.50 per mile pay. However, that's when we go to the third bullet and say, where's the drop-off location? In the picture, I see that's near the University of Denver. And if universities are anything like the ones here, usually it's pretty busy, especially when students get that grant money in the beginning of the school year. Me as a student, I did the same thing. I just kind of blew it. So they'll order a lot. And so I say drop-off location is worth it. Plus it's a surprise what it's actually going to be. So I would accept. This next one, $17.50. Anything over $15, I'm like, ooh. But $17.50 for 4.3 miles. So that's like math, $4 per pay per mile. So it's definitely not less than $4 pay per mile. I would accept this, but you can see that it's pick up at 2 locations. And knowing your restaurants again, just decide with your gut if those restaurants take too long. But for me, maybe I'd add a 10-minute wait because it's another restaurant. Still at $4 pay per mile, I would accept. So if you skip to this point in the video, I totally understand because this is where the results are going to be displayed. So on the left are my ratings from accepting all orders. On the right are my ratings from using this decline strategy. So we're going to compare the two. This is like the thing I've been waiting for while dashing to see. So dash pay for accepting all orders, $14.98. Dash pay with a decline strategy, $17.89. So about $3 more, honestly, and it didn't take very long. Same thing with the active pay, which a lot of people I found out don't go by. Some people say that's what DoorDash wants you to go by, the pay per time you're busy. Anyway, so I ended up making about $3 more in each pay category. I was busy the same amount of time, but I did save gas, as you can see in the percentage, and I did save miles driven on my car. So for me, I have continued to use this decline strategy, but you have to constantly monitor and see if it's still working in your area. Some things to know. I'm still a top dasher. Well, after this 2 week period, I tested the declining strategy, but barely. And I am not a top dasher now because I'm recording this a little bit later. And per DoorDash, you cannot be removed from the platform for having a low acceptance rate. I see this all the time. Maybe newer drivers, me, a few months ago, really getting into this. I was scared, but per DoorDash, this is a screenshot from them, you cannot be removed for having a low acceptance rate. So my sources. I do this to share my experiences and what has worked for me. But if you'd like to know more about this declining strategy, I highly recommend you watch the video below by Your Driver Mike on YouTube. Super helpful. He's very informational. He dives more into it. It's called Decline These Orders to Make More Money on DoorDash. All right. Thanks, everyone. And if you found this helpful, please like and or subscribe and leave your comments below if you have any questions, something you want to know more about, or something you want to school me on. It's cool with me too. All right. Thanks, all.